Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading for, this is your August bonus reading. You have this leg up card and this not for you card, so I'll show you these again in a second, but I feel like you could be kind of like lifting yourself up away from something. It's like you're getting assistance from something, I feel. So again, if you've been in like a stuck situation or a situation that is not for you, I feel that leg up card is saying you are being lifted up maybe with the assistance or help of others, and you have the Three of Pentacles here as well. And so this assistance could be getting you out of like a challenging situation or something that you don't like or whatever the case may be. And sorry, my top camera here died today, so I don't have a overhead camera at the moment. So typical retrograde, right? But you start off with the Knight of Cups, and again, I'll show you in a second, but the Knight of Cups could be a Knight in Shining Armor, and you could have a Knight in Shining Armor coming in for you at this time. So if you're looking for love, it looks pretty good, although you do have the Three of Swords in your closest relationships. But kind of what this is saying to me is that, you know, if you want love or a connection, you know, the Three of Swords could say that you are healing or you need to heal from a past situation before you obviously get into a new situation. And so I do feel that there could be like a new love connection coming in if you want it. The other thing I would say is that the Knight of Cups can represent your dream. You know, he's a very dreamy energy, and then you have the Ten of Pentacles here. You also have the Star showing up right next to the Knight of Cups, and so the Star can be like having a North Star or having a big goal, wish, or dream, something that you want to accomplish. And again, I think a lot of you could be accomplishing a lot. Your crossing energy is the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands can be what hurts you or helps you. And again, I think it would be worth it for, you know, for those of you that are thinking about, you know, really kind of moving past a past situation, it would be a good idea. You have the Devil in the area of the next few months. And then your very next card in the area of your closest relationships is the Three of Swords. And so, you know, kind of like putting it all together, this could say that moving on completely from something will set you free. The Four of Wands is really a card of freedom. And so these people are celebrating on the other side of this Four of Wands. So even though it's a card of marriage, it really represents setting yourself free. And it's almost like the reading is saying to me that for you to attract a good new connection into your life, you have to completely remove the past connection. And again, you might be saying, I have completely moved past it, but, you know, again, we've all been there, you know, where we've moved past something, but maybe we're still holding on to it just a little bit. You know, if you think about it during the day, or maybe you still have things that belong to the other person that you need to throw out, or, you know, or maybe they gave you something and maybe you need to get rid of that energy as well. And so I feel like the Four of Wands is saying make that clean break, you know, away from something so that you can be set free. In the area of your thoughts, you have the Page of Swords. Page of Swords in the area of thoughts is just curiosity. So I think that for a lot of you, it's Mercury retrograde. You know, you could be becoming curious about, you know, things, you know, past ideas, past business ideas, past plans, or you know, thoughts that you had. It could even be new things as well, even though it's a retrograde. You know, you could be looking at a past idea, and you could be coming up or curious about new ways of doing it, even though it's, you know, from the past. And I think now is a great time to really kind of explore those types of ideas, and I think that will help you out the most. So I think this retrograde specifically that we're having right now is great for reinvention. So if you have like an old idea that you're trying to fix or improve upon, I think that it could be a great time for you to like really reinvent the old idea, or see how you can, you know, add a little bit of star energy to it, because again, you can't see it, but from the Page of Swords, you go to the Star, and you know, going down, and you even go to the Devil. And we're going to talk about this in a minute, but the Devil can represent creative energy, and we'll talk about that. In the area of your foundation, you have the Three of Pentacles. Again, you started with this card, and this leg up card, there's like a bear. Sorry, I'm a mess today, if you can't tell. And the bear is lifting up that baby bear. And so it's kind of like these cards are saying to me that getting help from other people, or, you know, people that you're close with, or people that have helped you in the past before, that getting that help and assistance is going to be extra important this entire month. Three of Pentacles is a card of quality work. He has done a really good job, but he's done it with the help of these other two people. So I feel whatever you're working on, or you even go from the Three of Pentacles up to the Star, and this could say for you to be the Star, there are like people that are going to have to help you to get to that place. So allow people to help you. In the area of the past, this is the energy that you're moving past. You have this imagination card. It says creativity, inner child, inspiration. You also have this cheetah. It says speed, shrewdness, and loquacious. So I feel for a lot of you that your creativity, of course, with the devil as well, is going to be very important. Like I said, we'll talk about that in a minute. I do feel like there is something about speed. Like I always say, don't be afraid to start things during retrogrades. I start things all the time, and nothing happens. This camera died, yes, but I didn't buy that camera during a retrograde. But one thing I will tell you is that when I bought that camera, I have the exact same camera over here. Not the same one, but the same version of camera over here. And when I bought that one, when I plugged it in, it started running hot. Like this camera, I can touch it, it's not even warm, right? That camera was like scalding hot when I got it. So this is a lesson for me that when something isn't right, you should probably fix it before a retrograde, right? Because a retrograde, even though I didn't buy that during a retrograde, it doesn't matter. Retrograde will say there was an issue, you didn't fix it, now it's dead, right? And so again, the point being is that there's nothing wrong with starting something during a retrograde. Maybe it'll change after the retrograde, but also maybe it won't. There are so many things that I've started during retrogrades that I still do to this day that have not changed at all. So again, I don't think astrology should control our lives. And again, I can give you a million examples, but I would get started on something that you're thinking about starting. I think that you're thinking about starting something that you've already thought about, right? So that's even more acceptable. It's perfectly acceptable to work on things that you've already worked on, before the retrograde. And you have the Ten of Pentacles here. So Ten of Pentacles is about building, leaving a legacy. And I feel a lot of you could be working on something that you've already been working on. Ten of Pentacles is like trying to build something that can create a lot of freedom or stability or success in your life. So it just looks to me like you are kind of maybe revisiting or reinventing something that could potentially bring you to the Ten of Pentacles. And again, Ten of Pentacles is just everything you want and desire. Whatever your dream life is, that's the Ten of Pentacles. Next, in the area of the very near future, you have this divine timing card. It says your angels are working behind the scenes. You are being lifted up. You have Three of Pentacles, the leg up card. You have this beginnings card. It says something new is emerging or a new source of income. Embrace the power of newness and make room for new possibilities. Cannot make it up. We just said this. So clearly, even though it's a retrograde, it's going to be perfectly fine for you to work on new ideas. I do kind of feel like for most of you, these are like new old ideas. So again, like I said, it's perfectly fine to work on something that you've already been working on. It's perfectly fine to try new things on things that you've already been working on, all along since before the retrograde. So I think that for a lot of you, there's clearly something about new beginnings here. You have the Star also in the area of your very near future. It's a Mercury retrograde, if I can't say that enough. And so Mercury retrogrades are a great time for resting, relaxing, recovering, healing. The Star is all about, healing yourself. It's also a card of hope, faith, and renewal. And so I think that you are starting to believe that you can accomplish something. She is pouring this water onto the land here, and that water comes from the pool of universal consciousness. And so what this represents is that what's possible for one person is possible for everyone. But I kind of get that feeling from the reading that you are starting to believe that it is that something you want is possible for you to create, if that makes sense. And so I kind of feel this is like a little bit of motivation for you, Sagittarius, or it's a little bit of a, kind of like uplifting energy. You have the Devil. I wanted to start here. In the area of the next few months, you have this chameleon spirit. It says act as if. You also have this dragonfly. It says truth transcends illusion. So I feel for a lot of you, I love that chameleon spirit. It's all about, just being the thing that you want to be before you have it. And so we have to bathe in the energy and be the thing. I don't like it when people say fake it till you make it, right? Because there's no reason to fake it. You can just be the thing you want to be right now. But you obviously obviously there might be some obstacles to getting there, but there are habits you can adopt. There are things that you can do where you can start filling your life with the things that, let's say you want to be successful in business. It's like you can make yourself a successful business person by learning, studying, filling your brain with good ideas, adopting, good daily routines that business people do. Doing all of that will make you successful, and that's basically what I feel like this is saying. The devil is coming up in the next few months, and again, the devil, I believe in your reading, is talking about creative force. The reason the devil can represent creativity is that these people have these animal horns on their heads, and the animal horns represents their animal instincts or their baser instincts. So it kind of represents root chakra energy. I believe with the devil that sometimes all the devil is saying is that we have to take those ideas and we have to bring them up to our head and express the idea into the world. The star card. The star is about being a star. It's about you doing things to be a star, you shining your inner light. And I think that the devil is basically saying that you could be doing that. It wouldn't surprise me. Again, you just based off your astrology over the past few years, I would not be surprised if you were cutting people out. And your next card in the area of your closest relationships is the Three of Swords. So based off your astrology, and we've talked about this before, I think that it wouldn't surprise me if you were removing, toxic people, or, if there are people that cause problems in your life, then I feel like you are probably cutting those people out. Again, this shows up in your astrology. It wouldn't, and I've said this before, and everybody has told me it's true, that, it wouldn't surprise me if some of you in the past, like the past year or two, have like kind of reunited with certain people in your life, and only to be like, oh yeah, I remember why I cut this person out in the first place, right? And so it wouldn't surprise me if you have had that experience where, maybe you allowed some family back into your life, or maybe you allowed just a person back into your life. It doesn't have to be love, and they kind of just proved you right. And again, I think that some of you are just kind of making sure that you're surrounding yourself with the right people. Next, in the area of your future feelings, you have the High Priestess. So I feel like you're feeling very intuitive. I feel like you could be having a lot of those moments that, like I just described, where you're saying to yourself, you know what, I was right all along. I should have trusted myself all along. And, of course, don't beat yourself up. About those things. Make sure that you're, being kind to yourself. But I feel that basically happens so that we can trust our intuition more. And so I feel like this is just saying, moving forward in the future, continue to trust your intuition. You have the Five of Wands at the end here. I feel like you're going to be going on some sort of adventure. Five of Wands can be conflict or competition, but I also sometimes feel that the Five of Wands is a card that I used to call Indiana Jones, because it's like a card of going on some sort of crazy adventure and getting a reward at the end of the adventure. So if you're going on an adventure, which I think you are, then, there could be a big reward that is kind of like waiting for you. But let's see what we get. With the Four of Wands and the Knight of Cups, you have the Three of Swords again. Some of you, maybe you thought you had a knight in shining armor that turned out not to be a knight in shining armor. And, again, I think that you're probably healing from it, because you have the star right next to it. The other thing I would say is that I feel a lot of you need to completely let go of the past, like we said. So if you want new love, it's here, but I think you have to, there's like something that needs to be cut out, of your life, and it could be anything. And so I would look into that. With the Page of Swords, you have the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, I would definitely say it's time to get to work on your creativity. So the Page of Swords is curious about, like a new direction or something new that he wants to do or create in his life. And the Eight of Pentacles is about just putting in the work. Eight of Pentacles also can represent material success on the horizon. So whatever you're thinking about doing in your life, I feel there could be a lot of success for you. But again, you have to get to work to get that success going. With the Three of Pentacles, you have the Two of Wands. Two of Wands says also take the lead, get to work. Two of Wands, he needs to leave a comfort zone. The story of the Two of Wands, is that he thinks he knows how something is going to go because he thinks that he knows everything, and so the Two of Wands kind of says that he has rushed to a finish line, and because he rushed to a finish line, he didn't really enjoy the journey. And the whole point of the Two of Wands is that he needs to realize that variety is a spice of life, that there are so many different things that he could go and do, but he has to get out into the world to experience those new experiences. He has a whole world in his hands, but he's just looking right here. He's just looking in front of him. He's not looking at all the opportunities that exist. So again, I can't show you, but you go from the 2 wands up to the star, and the star is about possibility. And so I feel like you need to realize that there's like a lot of possibilities of how you can do something, and also getting help from other people with that 3 of Pentacles will be good. With the 10 of Pentacles, you have the Hierophant. The Hierophant represents blessings, and he's blessing these 2 people in front of him. I feel like for a lot of you, this is more talking about outside the box thinking. The Hierophant, sometimes I feel that he is just too fixed and only seeing one way of doing things. He does represent Taurus, a fixed sign, but the good news is this is coming up in your past position. So I feel like you are releasing this vision of things only needing to go a certain way. And it is almost like you are kind of being more flexible, more spontaneous. You are a Sagittarius. I don't really find that Sagittarius has a hard time being flexible or being spontaneous. So I don't really feel like this is like an obstacle for you. Maybe it was. Like sometimes I think weird things can happen where even if you are flexible, like maybe there's a situation where you're not flexible and it's like now you're becoming more flexible. With the star, I said the 3 of Wands, and you have the 3 of Wands. So it's almost like I knew that this was going to come up. But the 3 of Wands is a card of expansion. And you have the star, and sometimes I feel like if something isn't working out in our life, it's because the universe is saying like, no, I want something more for you. I want you to do more or expand more. And with the star card, I kind of feel that's what the reading is saying. It's almost like the universe is saying to you that, if things aren't going according to plan, or if you're not reaching the heights that you want to reach, that actually you're about to reach bigger heights, but the universe is trying to lift you up. You have that leg up card. You also have this other card that said your angels are working behind the scenes. It says you're expecting things to happen in an unrealistic timeline, but I feel like this is also saying that really it's like maybe you're putting the bar down here, but really the bar is up here. So I think that you need to like lift yourself up more or expand more. With the Devil, you have the 2 of Cups. I really feel there's new love coming in for you. The 2 of Cups is meant to represent 2 people who are very different. So again, this could be a person who is different than your usual type. This could start as communication. This could also be a Capricorn. So it doesn't even have to be a bad thing, right, with the Devil. Of course, with the Devil showing up, I would, keep your ears open, keep your eyes open. And I always say that I think we get into trouble in relationships when we don't listen to what is being said. This right here is the Staff of Hermes, and the Staff of Hermes is Mercury, right? So make sure that you're having very clear communication if you are meeting a new person. The other thing to pay attention to is the ego. This lion right here can represent a person who has an imbalanced ego or a person who has too big of an ego. So if you're meeting a person and if they seem like they have too big of an ego, they probably do, right? So I feel that, I kind of feel like it's different for all of you, but I do feel you could be attracting a new person. I feel like for some of you, it will be a good person. For others, it will be a person who has too big of an ego. So pay attention. With the 3 of Swords, you have the Page of Wands. Page of Wands about the adventure. I kind of wonder if this is saying that you're kind of like stepping off on a new path on your own. The Page of Wands moves towards enthusiasm, and he doesn't need anything to go with him on this journey. He kind of goes on this journey on his own, and he makes his own decisions, and that's what I feel like you could be doing, is that you could be making your own decisions at this time, and that's exactly what I would do, is I would follow your heart, right? We are in a very heart-based time. I say it all the time because it's super important that we follow our heart right now. I don't say this just to repeat myself, right? So I would follow your heart and follow your enthusiasm. With the High Priestess, you have the King of Wands. Yes, you. I feel like, this is normally Aries energy, but I feel just in this reading, this might as well be your energy. And I feel like you are kind of, sitting in a position of power and strength. The King of Wands is very bold, assertive. He really goes after the things that he wants. So trusting your intuition, but also kind of, by the way, he also has foresight, right? The King of Wands, he is a visionary. He can almost see the future. And with the High Priestess, I definitely feel if you have any like crazy ideas or any plans or goals or wishes or dreams, it's almost like you're seeing the future. With the 5 of Wands, you have the Hangman. The Hangman is about gaining knowledge and wisdom. Five of Wands is about competition. So I think all three fire signs had something about learning from the competition. And so, again, we don't have to take part in the competition, but it could be an amazing time for you to look at your competition and say, like, what are they doing that I'm not doing, and to try those things. Again, some of the things will work, some of the things won't work, but I'm a big fan of, and you have this publicity card wanting to pop out there, so it could be a great time of attention, or it could be a great time for you to get attention on something you want. But I'm a big fan of kind of like learning from competition, or seeing what other people are doing, and I call it swipe and improve. Like, I don't think we should just steal ideas from other people. I think we can take inspiration and improve upon it and make it better, and that's where you really win. You have this companionship card. Yeah, I definitely feel, I'm wondering if you're like trying to pick between two people, or again, if it's like a past connection and then there's a new person coming in. But I do feel that there is a true companion coming in for you. What I would say is, like, I would be looking for a balanced ego, and I would be careful of anyone who has an imbalanced ego. It's like maybe the past person has a negative ego, but you're meeting like, I feel like you're finally being shown like what a good ego looks like, or a person who has a healthy ego, what that looks like, and that's what you could be attracting. You have the status card. This is like my fancy couple card, so again, there could just be a very strong connection coming in for you. You have this resourcefulness card. We're in a time of resourcefulness. There's going to be crazy things happening with money today, like the stock market crashed today. So, again, buckle up. I think that there's going to be a lot of crazy stuff happening with the finances. And I would just be resourceful. Like, don't waste your money on things you don't need, and just pay attention. I don't think we should panic. I don't think there's any reason to panic, but I would just pay attention. You have this generosity card. Again, I feel like you could be feeling like the universe is showing you the way, and that's where the generosity is coming from, the star. The inspirations you're receiving are guiding you, and that's what I feel there. And finally, you have two cards. You have this friendship card and this originality card. You could be starting with a person as a friend, and this could be like a very original person. I think what you will discover about this Two of Cups person, if you're meeting a new person, is that they are very, very different. Like, I can't even explain it. I think maybe they are not like anyone else, and maybe you start as friends and then turn into lovers, or maybe it's just talking about a friend. That could be giving you a leg up in life with that leg up card. But this looks really good, Sagittarius. Thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.